I replaced both wheel bearings. We were good to go, man. She's running good. Then after about 300 miles, what's this I hear? I hear another noise. And I traced it down to this one over here, and now this wheel bearing is bad. I got about 300 miles on this wheel bearing, and strangely enough, it is bad. And here it is. See, it looks pretty, it's getting pretty hot right there. Look at that. Discoloration there. But you can almost hear this thing if I spin it with my hand. It's making all kind of noise. So maybe you can hear it if I turn it like this. Hear that? Oh. You can see it kind of jerking. That thing is shot. I can't believe that I only got 300 miles out of it. So I'm making lemonade out of lemons. So I figured maybe this video will help you guys out. Hey, this does happen. This is very rare for me to get a part then go bad after 300 miles. You know, to be fair, these are aftermarket parts I've been putting in. So I got another one for $30-some, free shipping on eBay off a dealer. But the other side's all right. I replaced both of these about the same time, so I'm not sure why this one went bad. And here is a look at our new one. No problem with it though there. And I better look at it, make sure we match them up, make sure everything's right. Yep. Now, I did some other videos on this vehicle, taking these wheel bearings out, and basically if you can get this plate to separate, this whole thing just kind of drops out, and you can pull this entire wheel bearing out around here without taking these brake shoes off, your emergency brakes. So it's a little tight, but it'll work. Other than that, I thought I had a bad rear end, but if I spin this, it feels good. It's nice and smooth, but traced it down there. So I figured I'd just make a video, let you guys know, show you that these things do happen. So you can't really beat yourself up over it too much. You just gotta fix it and move on. So that's what we're going to do. Really not a whole lot here to show you. If you want to go back and look at my playlist, I have some videos on how to do this. I'm sure there's probably about 10 million other videos on YouTube about how to do this, but everybody does things differently, a different way. And the only thing here I had to do that you might not have the tool to do is take off this big nut, which is on the bottom here. And it's a 1 1/4 inch socket. That's what the axle is held on with. So other than that, the bolts came out of the back of it here fairly easy. Like I said, it wasn't in there very long, and you can see how this one started to rust up already. So what happens when you live in the Northeast? And we have not had any ice and snow yet, so you can imagine what that would look like about a year from now with a bunch of ice and snow on the road driving. There it is, it's on. Look at that, nice and smooth. This other one, that thing sounded like I was dragging something down the highway. It got really bad over about a week. The last 2 days, it was really bad coming back home after school, and I thought, I gotta look at this tonight. And you can see it got so hot here when I was making all that noise. It made a black mark around there. So this one is done. That one is on, and that's about it. Now, I kind of put this on there straight, and there's bolts that go in the back of this. Make sure you just kind of start them with your fingers, because they're easy to cross thread, very easy. So just put a little grease on them. If you feel like they're going through, do one at a time. And when you get them all in, then you push this hub in. Make sure you put a little grease around your axle nut here on the back side of that shaft, because that shaft sometimes gets hard to slide through this hub. And then tighten your nut down there. Alright everyone, we fixed the problem. It's nice and quiet now. Although on this road you wouldn't be able to tell it. It's kind of a rough road. Well, just when you thought the job was finished, what do we have here? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little lights in the night. Yep. ABS. Traction control, and also we got the tire light, but the tire light's always been on. So when I put that new bearing on, apparently there was a shield, a little round thing. I don't know if you saw it in the video. It's like a little round thing on the axle. I thought that was a dust cover. I thought that stayed on there. Well, that eventually chewed up my other ABS sensor, so I had to buy another one. Got another one for $18, free shipping. Had to wait about a week to get it. So now we gotta go put that back on. What happens sometimes when you get in a hurry. So let me show you what we're doing here. Oh, and by the way, on this Subaru, you see this particular light there. This is a traction control light right about there, blinking right there. I don't think you can see it. Down at the bottom, here is a switch for that right there. I can turn that on and off. It will not override that. So if you have an ABS sensor anywhere bad on any part of your vehicle, that will come on and tell you that traction control is going to be turned off and stayed off until you fix your problem with your ABS or your all symmetrical all-wheel drive system. So just so you know, so I can't turn it off. So alright, let's go look at the damage and fix it. Alright, so back off it comes. And luckily we don't have to disassemble the entire brake system. And we'll just kind of drop this off. And there is the stupid thing that I thought stayed on there. How dumb was that? And this thing pretty much destroyed these ABS wire right here. The sensor just kind of sticks down in there. So I'm going to get this out somehow, or see what I did there. That goes in like that. And, well, maybe. Let's see. Maybe that does stay on. And when I put this up back in here like this, I apparently caught that there and tore it. So I got to make sure this is all the way back in before I put that bearing in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this wire, the sensor back in, but I'm not going to bolt it in until I get everything back together. So that was dumb on my part. So let's just take it out real quick. And we won't have to worry about that. So these are things that happen. These are just things that happen sometimes. And here, you can see, I don't know if you can see the damage there, but I damaged it pretty good. I actually got it right down into the bottom of it. They're completely chewed it up, just the end of it. I think that does stay on there. That's the dust cover that goes in there like that. So I gotta be careful not let this slide out like that so it doesn't catch it up here. So alright, so I'll go ahead and change up this wire. Alright, here's the new ABS wire. Let's make sure it's, there it is. Need the box open. So at this point, just tear it open, doesn't matter. There's the wire, pretty long wire. I'll have to trace it here and see where it goes, but there's what a good one should look like on the end, right, like just like that. And let's see, make sure they're the same up here. I think you can see that. They are perfectly identical. So basically, I cut this whole piece on the end here is missing. Wow, I really whacked that. So, alright, so we'll go ahead and put this back in. And fairly long wire. Looks like it goes right up under there, so we'll go ahead and get this on. Alright, kids, let's try to make sense of this. We pulled the sensor wire out. Goes through here, pulled out this bracket, little eye hole right there on the frame, that snakes down through here. Then you have this plastic shield that you have to take some bolts out of. Let me set the camera here just right, if I can. There's some bolts. You pull this piece here down, and the sensor wire goes up, sort of right up under here, then goes right here up. And you can disconnect this wire a lot easier this way, so I've already disconnected it. And they're just little 12mm bolts there that, actually they all came out fairly easy. And now all I have to do, once I get up here, and try not to shake the camera too much, let's go ahead and stick our new one on. It's not exactly, I'm not sure why we have this piece on there. It's almost like it goes up into the cabin there, but I ain't worried about that. But everything else looks like it's the same. Looks like it's the same length and all that. So let me just double check this length here real quick. Alright, we're good lengthwise, so alright, well, let's go ahead and stick this on. $18 and some pennies. eBay, free shipping 5 days later off of a dealer. So, yeah, these are the things that happens when you don't pay attention and you mess up. So we're going to stick this on and put everything back together. Then we'll bolt this in. Alright, sort of a tedious part. I transferred all the connecting hardware off the old wire onto the new one here. I took a razor and cut all these pieces in half. If you can see that there. Kind of slid that on there because I mean these other brackets and stuff here, we're not going to do me any good. So I just took all this stuff off, cleaned all this up, and it's exactly like the other one there. So I like to keep everything cleaned up, and if I put these on there and I have no way to bolt them on, they'll rattle when I hit a bump. So we're going to clean that wire up and all that. Hey, let me know where you're watching from right now. All right, everyone, it's in. Went through all that just to make sure this was perfect. The only thing I couldn't do was get that little piece right here. I think I can make a piece or put just a little zip tie around it. Actually goes right there where my finger is, but other than that, it ain't going nowhere. It's in the harness there all the way through there. And all that, I just had trouble keeping it up on the frame. There's a little clip on there. You push on it and it kept coming out. So I got it on. So all we got to do now is put this axle and put the bearing in. I've already checked this. The light is off now. I went in and turned the key on and started it briefly. The light does go out. So we are good to go. So I'm going to assemble all this next. Then we'll bolt this in. That way I know this piece in here is all the way back in there. It won't snag this and cut it. So interesting. So we're going to get this done. Alright everyone, she's done. All back together. I'll put this in last. I looked down in there and there's nothing down there. So that piece, that cup, is actually way back here on the back of this axle. So it's back far enough. So when you're doing these, make sure you don't cut this sensor like I did with that dust shield on that axle. That will be a problem. So everything's back together, and also I'll show you the light now is out. And you can see the light on the left and right is out. If I reach down here at the bottom and push this button, the traction control button, see it works now. So the only other light I gotta fix is a TPMS sensor. Once I take care of that, I'm not sure which sensor's bad, but I'm gonna have to buy another computer to even get that cleared, because Subaru's real finicky about fixing those. So that's it, guys. We're done. Yay! Guys, so these things happen. Luckily, I waited about a week to get that. I wasn't in a hurry. And until next video, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.